there are the houses, and it's getting kind of difficult, and give them patience and give them courage, and that they could be able to pass for this moment. Bless them in the name of Jesus. Amen. Amen. Okay, wanna back to the 2 Corinthians. When I get 2 Corinthians, gonna be okay. The second part, but actually not the second part, because the last time was April 6th. Share about 2 Corinthians 10, the first part, but we only get until the fourth verses. This one was the last thing that we saw. So we start only a few verses. So we're not trying to finish, the 2 Corinthians. So those one who like to kind of follow is 2 Corinthians 10. Okay, 10. So this is remind you what was it. So in the world, we no wage war as the world does. The weapons we fight with are not weapons of the world. They are divine power to demolish strongholds. Okay, so to remind you how was it, that's Paul is writing to the Corinthians, and they're talking about because the Corinthians doesn't think that was should be an apostle or not the apostle. Okay, there's levels. So if they're going to be apostle, going to be in this one, no, not the apostle. The other one is, Peter, John, those one who stay with Jesus, those one. But no, Paul, no. And especially because they don't see Paul as an eloquent person. Like maybe they don't see them like tall or very eloquent in the way that he speak. And so when they don't see that in a leader, what they expect as a leader was apostle or a person who speak doesn't match their expectations, they say, I don't consider you are like that. Okay? And then they have another problem. They say that when you send the letters, those letters to us, you feel like a really bold, okay? But when you're in person, you don't really, a big deal, okay? It's kind of, okay? So Paul says to them, when I trying to gain people for the Lord, I don't want to be like a discuss or be mean over there. I don't work with the worldly weapons. I work with the spiritual weapons. So what's the thing that we talking, last time was like that. I wanna explain a little bit, like when they say strongholds. Okay, stronghold is like a fortress, or sometimes they call citadel. Okay, when I went to Egypt, I've been in many places that they have like a fortress. Okay, or stronghold that normally is when there is in the Navy or in the sea, in the shores, they have protection. It's for protection. So last time this is Alexandria in Egypt, and the way that I see the lighthouse of Alexandria, I was thinking that I want to see like a ruins about that. There's nothing. Okay, there's the earthquake, happened, and then they clean it up. They only have one monument over there that was there. So it doesn't worth it, to go all the way there. But anyway, the build, after was they call citadel, that is a fortress that was, for protection. So a stronghold is like a fortress. It's this thing, okay? So you could see how well this is, and this kind of like a windows. Is sometimes they put the canyons, for fighting, because they was a stronghold or fortress is for protection. Okay, so what it says, Paul, it says that the weapons that we fight are not the weapons of the world. Okay, on the contrary, they have divine power to demolish a stronghold, to demolish fortress. So look, wait a minute. we use the fortress to protect ourselves, okay? Now you saying, okay, that we have fortress over here in our mind, okay? And those fortress they are for protect, the truth of God. So we need to tear down that fortress that we have in our mind, okay? And then the way that need to be done is through spiritual weapons, no worldly weapons. It's like, okay, so what does that mean? That we have a fortress in our mind. Continue with the 2 Corinthians 10. This is another version, okay? That is 2 Corinthians 10, 3-5. I want to read it. There is a different version. You could maybe see a different way. I do live in the world, said Paul, but I do not fight my battles the way that the people of the world do. For the weapons I fight are not weapons of the world use. In fact, it's just the opposite. My weapons have the power of destroying the camps of the enemy, okay? Instead of strongholds, is the camps of the enemy. 5, I destroy everything claim and every reason that keeps people of knowing God. I keep every thought under control in order to make it obey Christ. What as Paul is saying, okay, this is first, the weapons that I use are not worldly weapons, are spiritual weapons. Second is to destroy every claim and every reason that keep people from those fortress that we have over here, or those strongholds, or those camps of the enemy that we put over here, is those lies that we make it truth in our life. Last time, I make the list. I want to, show you the list again. Those is kind of normal of some of the strongholds that maybe we have in our mind, okay? That maybe we don't say it, but we believe it. And we're thinking that are true in our life, okay? I want to mention, number 1 is, you're not good enough, okay? If you are thinking like that, maybe you don't say it, but you're feeling that way, okay, you need to go to the Lord and say, why are you feeling that way, okay? Say, God could never forgive you. You're thinking, you don't know what I'm doing. I don't think God, could forgive me. You'll never change, okay? 4, if God really loved you, your life wouldn't be so hard, okay? That one is another one. Especially you experiencing, a situation that you don't like, and say, why? I go to the church, I said, Jesus, why that happened to me? 5, you have to earn God's love. This is another one. I remember when Jesus in my heart, and they say, God is like your father. And I was thinking, okay, if I try 26 years of my life trying to give me the approbation of my father, and I couldn't get it, and it's from the earth, how can I, get the approbation from the Lord that is going to be higher? So how can I do that? And in the beginning, I start, even as a Christian, I start trying to gain his approval, okay? 6, you are alone, okay? Nobody loves you, you're by yourself. That is not true, okay? This is another strong enemy. 7, you can handle this on your own, okay? You need to ask for help. You need to ask for people to pray for you. Okay? You could do it, okay? It's nothing. Other people have other stuff, worse than you. So you could do it with this. This is a lie from the enemy. They don't have to rely in others. They don't have to rely in or be vulnerable on the way that I need help also. I'm not only like the strong, person that be all the time. That's, sometimes I need help from others, and that's okay to do it. Okay, God wants you to be humble in that thing. Okay, 8, following God means giving you up your happiness. Yes, I was thinking that I have a better decision with my life that God could do with my life. I know what's good. And if I say yes to God, He want to send me a place that I don't want to be. I want to maybe not married or married to a person that I don't like. So He want to punish me, for all these years that I don't do His will. And that was what I think. When I come to the Lord, I was thinking it's going to be like that. I need to pay the price because I wasn't Christian for 26 years, and that's why God need to punish me for all the bad that I did. And now, He always do better than we expect. Okay, your past defines you. No, you could learn from your past, but you could start make changes. About, and it's too late for you. Whatever you want to do, it's not late. Okay, still you're alive. And you're with God, you could continue. You could start today, something, that He, show you or trying to do with your life. So these things, if you believe, maybe you don't read it in the Bible, you say, but sometimes we have that kind of little thing that, okay, it's not here, okay, it's not here, but I'm thinking, okay? I'm still thinking about this. It maybe doesn't match with this, but it's life, okay? So my experience says that some of these are true. My experience says that these things are true, so that's why I live it that way. So what do we do? The lie that the devil put in you, you make it truth, okay, in your life, and you live it, okay? Yeah, God, can do great things, but not with me. No, you don't know me. No. Oh yeah, good. God, could be with me, but sometimes, I know. I don't think, God could be 100%, with me. No, or any of those things. If you believe one of those things, you need to go to God and say what He says about you, what He says about you, instead of what you think. Or also could be a person of authority come to you and say true in your life, okay? And then when that happens, it's because, okay, this person that is authority for me, your parents or an uncle that like, it's a person that is important for you, your older brother. It's something that is important for you. Say something to you and then make it truth in your life. Okay, if I go, any place and then a drunk person, come over here and say, oh, you should get a job, a normal job, when I was in the mission, said, okay, you should get a job, a normal job. And another person like said, who cares, it's a drunk guy. But when the person who say that to you is your dad, they're like, oof. He loved me and he want the best for me, and he telling me that I need to get a normal job. That's not a job. Being a missionary is not a job. So then when that happened, it's like, oh, okay. So maybe he's right. Okay, so maybe what we're going to do. So all this kind of stuff is different. If somebody says something to you that is not what God says, okay, that is the personal view, okay, and you say that is true and put it over here, it's a stronghold. It's a camp of the enemy that you have over there. I just mentioned a few. There's more. We want to talk a few more over here but this is the main thing that I want you to understand. Maybe you don't say it, but you acting like that is because you really believe it and put in practice when you make it happen in your heart. So you need to go with the Lord and says, Lord, why am I have this stronghold? Okay, so start using the spiritual weapons. What are the spiritual weapons? All we have here, Ephesians 6:11 says, put on all of God's armor. Then you can remain strong against the devil's evil plans. The devil wants to put something in your mind. It says like a Proverbs that maybe was used by Martin Luther, okay? That maybe you hear that before. It says, we cannot keep the birds from flying over our head, but you can keep them from building a nest in your hair. That could be that sometimes, you have things in your mind, okay? And yeah, you, in your mind, it's going to be God is talking to you, okay? And also the devil's, poking you, and also you. And sometimes you don't know, like, who is who and what, okay? Because you need to have a relationship with him to see how he speaks to you, okay? What you normally need to do, okay? Use the Bible, and you put all the things. And if they don't pass, it's the devil and you, so then you throw it away. And then whatever it passes is because it's God's. Okay? So when those things, you make it like this, it's like the thoughts is going to be there. They're going to be thoughts that you say, like, what I think like that. That's normal, okay? That's normal. But when you grab it and you make it truth, then it's when you allow those birds, to do the nest over there. Okay? We need to win the way that Jesus win. How he win? Philippians 2:8 says, in this very nature he was God. Jesus was equal with God, but Jesus didn't take advantage of that fact. 7, instead, he made himself nothing. He did this by taking of the nature of a servant. He was made just like human beings. He appeared as a man. He was humble and obeyed God completely. He did this even though he led to his death. Even worse, he died on the cross. We just talk about the cross. Who you talking about, Jesus died on the cross. Right? So Jesus was obeying God even though he had the power, of doing many things. He don't use that power, okay? And sometimes we always looking for, no, I'm right to do this. I'm right. This is my right. This is my right. And sometimes we don't want to give up our rights, okay? Because no, it's not right. We never defend our responsibilities. No, wait, wash the dishes. No, you don't want to wash the dishes. I want to wash the dishes. That's my right. That's my responsibility. And you don't say that. You don't say that's my responsibility. You don't say that. Oh, but with the rights, yes. I have my right to say this. Jesus had the right to do it. He gave up his right, okay, in order to do God's will. And is God telling you to give up your rights? And you understand that way? Do it. That is the best way. Oh, no. They need to listen to me. They should listen to, okay. Calm down. It's win to God's way, okay? It's win with the spiritual weapons. And when you win to spiritual weapons, God is doing, for you. And it's you doing God's will, okay? And then when they say, okay, they're talking about it says, so destroy it. So you need to destroy the strongholds, okay? They're the enemy, put the stronghold over there, you need to destroy it, okay? I destroyed every claim in every reason that keep people from knowing God, okay? So if there's something that think that God is not good, or God is not like that, or yeah, he do it to others, he bless others, but not them bless me, and all this kind of mindset, okay, they say, okay, you need to destroy that the enemy or that stronghold, okay? And I keep every thought under control in order to make it obey Christ, okay? To win Jesus' way. That's what need to start doing it. And they say, well, if the spiritual weapons work really well, why don't we use them all the time? Because require faith and obeying the Lord and trying to do God's will. That's why. And sometimes we're thinking that we could do better with our decisions, that, or win, or discussion, or make us feel like we have weapons, so we could use it. That's why we have relationship with the Lord daily, okay? So we know how to manage these things, okay? We have faith, and we trust that what the God way is the best way, we will do it. But when we don't have a time with the Lord, and we don't know, and we have faith, yes, because we believe that God, is there, and when I die, I'm going to go to heaven. That's okay. But you could have a faith that He could be in your life daily, okay, on a regular basis, appear over there to guide you. You need to believe that. It's not only for when I die, I'm going to go to heaven. That salvation is there. No problem about the salvation. Now, how can I do His will daily? How can I guide me? That is the thing. You need to have faith in Him and knowing that what you feel and when you spend time with Him is the way that He wants you to win this battle. Instead of trying to win it in your own way or with your own worldly weapons. Okay, strongholds. Okay. Romans 12:2 says, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is. His good, pleasing, and perfect will. So, over here says, we hear many times, okay? I put it again, okay? It's so important what you think. It's so important what you believe. Sometimes I go, oh, no, as soon as you're okay with the heart and then do everything. Yeah, that's okay. But it's so important what you believe. Because what thing that you believe, okay, is that make you put it in practice when you put it over here. If you don't believe it, never want to put it in practice. If you don't believe something, you say, nah, I don't think so. You don't want to put it in practice at all. Okay? But you believe it, then you want to put it in practice. So, that is so important. That's why it's okay to read the Bible. It's okay to spend time with the Lord because it starts changing little by little our mindset, okay, to make it more as a Jesus mind. Because when it's a Jesus mind, okay, then you could be acting as a Jesus, okay? That's what He wants you to do, the way that He wants you to win these battles. Continue with the 2 Corinthians 10 says, 7 says, you are judging by appearance. If anyone is confident that they belong to Christ, they should consider again that we belong to Christ just as much as they do. Over here is they say about judging for appearance. The way that Paul was judging is how they look. How they look physically, how they look when they speak, how they, that's the way that was judged. They don't have too much deep time with him. Those one is not, and of course, it's not all of the Corinthians, okay? It was a few people. But those one was mad at him and said, look, you are two mind, okay? You're two persons, okay? You double mind, okay? You say something in your letters, but when you're here, you don't really look like what you're saying in the letters, okay? That's your double mind, okay? And second, that the way that you speak, you're not good at speaking. No, you're not good at you're not eloquent. You're not what we expect or what we appreciate from others. You don't have it. So Paul is saying over here, it's not bad to judge someone. Just don't judge them for outward appearance. That's the thing. If I come and I share with you, that's okay that you could go to see if the thing that I said it makes sense, okay? And I don't go so south or crazy. That's okay to judge a person, okay, for what he says, what is inside. But not to judge them just because of the way that he, physically appear or the way that he speak or the way that no, it's not about that. You're bad because you don't speak it the way that I expect you to be. But it's okay to check an apostle or a person or a pastor or anyone who wants to speak. It's okay to check it. That's Paul is not wrong in that. He don't say, oh, you cannot say anything to me, okay? I come from the Lord, so whatever I say is true. It's not about that. Paul is saying, yes, check about it, is that true what they're saying? Check, but don't judge them and don't discredit them just how he look, how he speak. Okay? The stronghold or the thought that we have, okay? They say that we have thought of anger, we have thought of fear, okay? We have thought of greed, thought of lust, we have bitter thoughts, evil thoughts, okay? So all of these, okay, we need to, there's another stronghold that we have. Those kind of thoughts, come to your mind. That's going to be normal. But the way that what you do with it, okay, is the important thing. And if you're trying to, that one is constant and you believe it, you're going to acting like that. So over here says, Paul, don't judge me for that. But if I preach to you and I have a stronghold, okay, and I trying to pass it to you and say, no, I don't want to receive that, okay? I want what Paul's saying, check what is inside. Many of us, wants to recognize not what we are outside. We want to recognize what we have inside. But in order to that, you need to spend time with that person. Okay, you don't spend time with one person and you see just how it look and you judging, the person and say, no, I don't want to be the friends. Just the way that he look, the way that he is, the way, and then the devil, trying to compare those kind of stuff. That is devil, to do that kind of stuff. That the comparison, I want to go there, soon. 2 Corinthians 10, 8, and 11 says, instead of judging what is inward, is this, okay? 2 Corinthians 10, 8 and 11 say, so even if I boast somewhat freely about the authority the Lord gave us to building up rather than tearing you down, I will not be ashamed of it. 9, I do not want to seem to be trying to frighten you with my letters. 10, for some say his letters are weighted and forceful, but in person he is unimpressive and he speaks almost to nothing. Okay, this is what they see. 11, such people should realize that we are in our letters when we are absent, and we will be in our action when we are present. So over here, saying the same thing, Paul, you doesn't look like the person that we expected you to be, okay? So that's why we want to discredit you, okay? What you have, all the information you have, is not only the way that you look and the way that you talk. That's why I don't want to talk to you. And sometimes, that happens. Sometimes I don't know what happened to you. You go to one place, you expect something, and not the way that expected, and you're like disappointed. Like, yeah, I expected, something different. Or sometimes you have a low expectation, arrive into a place, and then, ta-da, like, was great. I don't know if that happened to you when they say, oh, you watch a movie, and somebody, say, watch a movie. And then the person say, oh, this movie is really good, okay? It's awesome. So you have a lot of expectation. Then you go and see the movie and say, so. Because your expectation was really high. Doesn't meet the expectation. But how about if somebody says, oh, don't watch them, don't even pay to watch that movie, or don't even rent a movie, or don't even lose these 2 hours in that movie, okay? It's not worth it. And you finally see it, with like, okay? And they go, oh, it's not that bad, okay? That is, happening also here. They have expectation how a person who speak or an apostle should be, and because he doesn't look like, then they discredit, okay? They don't believe in him. And this is, the best way, to decide that is not from the Lord, okay? 2 Corinthians 10, 12, okay, it says, I don't dare to compare myself with those who praise themselves, okay? I'm not that kind of person. They measure themselves by themselves. They compare themselves with themselves. When they do that, they are not wise. What is Paul is saying? Look, those people who compare themselves, okay, are not wise. Now, is any over here compare himself with others? Of course, all of us compare. And it's something that we normally do. You know, when a kid born, okay, all the people who want to see is, oh, look at this. The nose is from the father. Oh, the eyes is from the mother. And the guy, is really different than the other one. Or if they have three, it's you always compare. We not only the people compare us, we compare each other. When we say, this person, I remember, when I compare myself, I say, well, I'm not good in the music stuff. I don't play any instrument, but I'm good in sports, okay? I don't be like that, but I'm good in sports. What am I doing? When you compare like that, the only thing is feel good about yourself. And when you do this and compare others, you're trying to diminish them in order to you be better, so you feel comfortable with what you've been doing. That kind of comparison, okay, is bad. It's not wise. It's not wise. It's always want to find a person that is better than you in something. And you want to find a person that is worse in you in something. It's always like that. And they say, it's not wise to do that. So I want to give you a list of things that maybe you already compare with, or maybe you was compared before, or maybe you think that you want to compare later, okay? So I want to give you that list, okay? That's over here. We compare each other with beliefs and values, okay? What is this, okay? People compare religious beliefs, okay? Moral values, cultural norms, and ethical systems. What it says, the Bible that I read, okay, that is the good one, okay? The King James, the King James is the good one. I have a lot of, like that when I was in Mexico. King James is like a Reina Valera, is what we have. And there's sometimes if you don't read Valera like a King James, it's not Christians. So maybe we need to check it out if you're doing something wrong. If I have hard time with the New Bible Translation, like the NIV, sorry, yeah. If I have problem with that, imagine me with the King James. Half of you wasn't here already. It's hard for me to even when they sing the songs, and do the yeah, all the kind of stuff, I don't understand what you're saying. Okay? So when we compare with others, and we say, we're better, okay? We're better than you, okay? In spiritual stuff. Because I go to a better church or a bigger church or you name it. If you compare with others and you feel comfortable with that, it's not wise. It's not wise. Who cares? Who cares about that? Well, I care because I want to feel okay. It's not okay. But instead of helping them, what you're doing, you compare with them, and when you compare with them, then it's you doing. You compare with them, and when you compare with them, then it's difficult for you to grab their hands and make them better. I don't want to be related with that kind of person. If they don't do it right, I don't want to be their friends. Okay? With the life, the way that I am, okay, I'm really follow the Lord. They don't follow the Lord. I don't want to be thinking that I'm like them. Okay, so them, because I'm better. Not wise. And we're not go wise, not wise. Okay. Appearance. This is more like external stuff, more physical stuff. Okay, physical attributes like height or style, fashion sense. Attributes like height or style, fashion sense, or fitness, or they're often compared with, okay? Skills and abilities. Individuals compare talents, intelligence, work performance, or creativity abilities, okay? They compare with that. Lifestyles, people look at living standards, hobbies, and families, interaction, okay? Have you ever compared all those things? Think about what you compared before and what you compare right now, and maybe you don't know what's going to compare later, but as you've been growing, your way to compare change. Okay? I remember when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I always compare like, oh, no, I'm taller, okay? I'm not as smart, but I'm taller, okay? So that's okay, okay? So I have something, and I'm not good, in playing, the guitar. He played the guitar. It's always because you like a girl, and then other person like it, so you compare with the other one that you are best, option for that person. And then, they play guitar, so I'm better, she, send me how to play basketball, they wanna be, with me. So that's kind of the comparison that